Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel, Peter Watches TV, where I watch all the TV shows and then I come over here and I react to them. And I have missed you guys so much. I've been on vacation for the last 10 days, but I am back. I am going to be filming a lot of videos over here to talk about the shows that I have watched while I've been gone. I also have a lot of shows to catch up on. Big Brother starts this week, so I will be doing my Big Brother reactions over here, which I guess I just decided while I was filming this video. I wasn't really sure if I was going to yet. I don't know how I'm going to do them. I don't know if I'm going to do them every day after the show airs, or if I'm going to do them once a week. Let me know what you guys would like in the comment section below if you even watch Big Brother. There's a bunch of other things starting, but today I want to start getting caught up on 1,000 Pound Roomies. Last night, I watched episode 4. I know episode 5 is out already, and tomorrow is episode 6. So I will probably do episode 5 tomorrow, the coverage of it, and then we will be all caught up. I also have a video coming to you guys about the show Virgins, okay, on TLC. It'll probably be a very funny video, so I'm real excited about that, and I will explain to you my choice on whether or not I'm going to continue to cover Virgins or not on TLC. But let's get into 1,000 Pound Roomies episode 4, which is called Give Me S'more, which is it is regarding the camping trip that they go on to Big Bear at the end for both their birthdays, for Nisha and Jazz's birthday. So I have to tell you a funny story, first of all. Okay, so we got back from vacation late last night. We flew into Indianapolis like 1:15, 1:30, and we were back at our house at like 3 o'clock in the morning. So we had like a 4 or 5 hour layover in Miami. We were in one of those like lounges, and I was like watching 1,000 Pound Roomies, and I was like taking notes, right? And so I'm always like to my husband, like, what are you watching on your iPad? And he was like, I'm watching Love Island. So he's currently watching the current US Love Island and also the UK Love Island. And all of his girlfriends do too. And they're in a group text where they watch it all at the same time, and then they like text each other about it, which my friend and I do about Love After Lockup. So that's whatever. I think that's kind of cute. But anyway, so I made some joke and I said to him something like, I don't even remember. I was like, ain't nobody watching Love Island. He's like, everybody watches Love Island. I was like, so he goes, see, they're watching Love Island or something. There was like these 3 girls that were traveling with their mom. And they were like 21, I don't know. They were like in their early 20s with their mom. And they all like had iPads out and they were all watching the same episode of Love After. I was like, those girls don't know what's up. What's up is 1,000 Pound Roomies, baby. 1,000 Pound Roomies is where it's at, right? So I'm drinking my little Americano that I made in my little coffee maker there. And I get up to go get another one and I come back. And the mom is watching Love Island too because I couldn't see her iPad. And then I'm like coming to sit in our seats. And the couple, because there's like 2 seats and 2 seats facing each other. The couple across from them, which is like, they're like my age. They're like watching Love After Lockup, or no, Love After Lockup. They're watching Love Island as well. And then on the plane, people were watching Love Island. I was like, damn. My husband told me, he said, you need to watch Love Island and then you need to react to it. I was like, damn, I should have watched this show and reacted to it. So, sadly, I apologize I'm not watching Love Island. But I am watching 1,000 Pound Roomies, and baby, that's where it's at, okay? It is with Nisha and Jazz. They did not know when they got this show that they were competing with Love Island. They had no clue. Okay, so let's get into this week's episode. I have lots of notes to talk about. So, last week's episode, it ended, well, the episode 3 ended with Jazz on the couch and production asking her, like, you know, are you okay? Are you okay? And then then Nisha took her to the hospital, and so we didn't know what was happening. So this episode starts with Jazz going to the hospital, and she's in the ER, and she's talking about how she has a lot of pain in her legs, and that she has pins and needles, like, going through her hands. She doesn't know what's going on. And so they're going to give her a CAT scan and a blood test. I was actually kind of surprised that the show didn't focus more attention on of her being in the hospital. They treat her for malnutrition and they diagnose her with arthritis in her knee. So then they're on their way home and she is still in a lot of pain in her knee. And she's talking about how the doctor said she's lost a lot of muscle mass because she is not taking in enough protein. So she's on the shot. And she's losing a lot of weight on this shot. So she was like, I believe like, she has to get down to 500 pounds to have the weight loss surgery. So she was like 640. So she had to lose like 140 pounds. So that's why she's on the shot. But she's not eating anything while she's on the shot. She's not eating protein and all this kind of stuff. We just saw this on 1,000 Pound Sisters with Tammy Slayton. Because Tammy Slayton almost didn't. It was interesting because for years, I never heard them talk about the importance of protein. And just recently, they're starting to talk about protein on all these shows. Tammy Slayton couldn't get skin removal surgery unless I think she was supposed to have like 90 grams of protein a day. So it's similar but different with this show. There's a lot of talk on this show about Jazz, like should she not be on the shot? I'm sure this last week's episode they addressed it because it was a huge issue on this week's episode. Nisha does not want her on the shot. She's not eating. She says her mood has changed. Jazz is just not taking in a lot. It was interesting at the end of it. She's like, they showed her like eating a salad and she's like, they're telling me I have to eat more. So the conversation around eating more is very interesting because Nisha says you need to eat more, but Nisha's idea of eating more is really like unhealthy foods, like fried foods, sugars, cookies, things like that. And then the doctor's telling her she needs to eat more protein, but at the end they show her eating a salad, like a leafy green salad, which I didn't see any chicken, I didn't see any protein in it. So I don't know if she's just drinking the protein shakes. But the protein was like and the shot was like a big part of the conversation this episode. So she's going home. She's still in a lot of pain. She's kind of pissed, honestly, about the fact that they diagnosed her with arthritis. She's like, how does that help me and whatever. And they give her, I guess, pain medication. She said she feels like she's just withering away, but she's worried that if she doesn't lose the weight, she won't get approved for the weight loss surgery. Oh, next week is when they meet with the doctor, episode 5, so it's already been out. I'll do that reaction tomorrow. Is when I may be posting 2 videos a day for the next couple days because I got to get caught up on some of these other shows too. Over here at least. But anyway, she meets with the doctor to see if she gets approval for the skin. This is where I was like, are we coming to the end of this season? Like already? Is it going to be like 7 or 8 episodes? I don't know. Maybe it's going to be a really short season. Nisha suggests that she gets off the shot. She thinks that it's done permanent damage to her. She says her mood has changed and that she's sad all the time. And she thinks it's because Jazz never eats. Jazz doesn't know what she'll do without the shot because she won't be able to lose weight. It's interesting to me that like, you really see like Nisha's own like food addiction stuff come through her. Now, I'm not saying that I believe what Nisha is saying about the shot. Like I do think that it's affected her. But where she says, I think she's sad because she's not eating, which means that Nisha equates happiness with eating, which as a person that has a food addiction, I totally relate to food addiction stuff. But that's interesting that she goes that roundabout kind of way, right? That it's not about the fact that she's not getting her nutrients because she's not eating because of the shot. She's not getting protein. She's not getting the energy that she needs, which all that's part of it. It's the fact that her not eating is making her sad. I think that's an interesting perspective. I think this is why the show does work with one of them basically being on this weight loss journey and the other one not being. When I started watching the show, I thought it was going to be about Nisha and Jazz, both on this weight loss journey together. I don't know. At some point, Nisha just was like, I think she originally said she would support Jazz, but Nisha never makes any, like, claim that she wants to lose weight or, I mean, she doesn't really, in what I've watched, ever really say. Jazz will ask her sometimes, like, are you still wanting to lose weight and stuff, but Nisha, like, she like, hides when she goes out to eat with her friend Bree. She says she doesn't really feel like she can eat at home when she's always got, like, snacks and stuff at home. So I guess Nisha is not wanting to lose weight. I don't know. I thought that was kind of, like, the whole idea of the show. Like, it was these 2 girls that were trying to lose weight together. But maybe that was not the idea of the show. I don't know. Anyway, I still love it. So, then they show Nisha, and she's with her friend Bree, and they're getting all this, like, food, and they're talking about garlic butter, and how, girl, baby, I love me some garlic butter, too. I get you. She says that she feels like she cannot eat at home because, and there's a lot that Nisha says that I so relate to from a food addiction point of view. Like, a lot of the things that she says so remind me of, like, well, there are things that I literally just said almost the exact same things. They're planning a birthday weekend for both Nisha and Jazz because it's their birthday, and they're going to get a bougie cabin in the woods in Big Bear for their birthdays. They start talking about her and Nisha dating people and her dating profile. And she's like, but I just need my plate right now. I just want to eat my plate right now. Those are the kind of jokes. I mean, I know that they're funny for the show, but those kind of like food and jokes are, it was always easier for me to laugh at myself about being heavier than somebody else making the joke first. You know, I think that's kind of the language of being bigger, that if you laugh at yourself first, I mean, that wasn't just about being bigger. That was about being gay too. When I was growing up, if I could laugh at myself first and I could beat somebody else to the joke, you know? And Nisha does that a lot. It kind of makes me sad for her, honestly, sometimes. She says that Joel, her situationship, has been looking at her dating profile a lot, and he's now asked her out on a date. And Bree's like, why now, after 20 years? And she's like, is it because he's jealous? What are his intentions? Nisha says she doesn't care because she's going to go for the free food. But she does want to go because she wants to have some concrete answers. Like, are her and Joel just friends? Like, are they friends with benefits? She calls it a situationship, but I'm assuming it's like a friends with benefits kind of thing. But it's been going on for 20 years. I mean, that is a really, really long time. I've been sober for 30 years. So, I mean, it's in kind of that era. I mean, my best friend has been my friend for 25 years. I mean, I can't imagine, like, at this point, it's never crossed over into anything more. It surprises me, kind of, honestly. So then they show Nisha and Joel on their date, and he brings her flowers. She says that he takes her to a less nice place and tries to make it fancy by putting candles on the table and stuff. She's like, he could have just taken me to a nicer place. I thought it was kind of funny how she said this. Then take her to a less nice place, which is like breakfast. It's like a diner, I guess, like breakfast food. She talks about how all she wants to do is get a hotel room with blackout curtains by herself and sleep in the dark. I was like, I so relate to this. Like, I just want a weekend of just sleeping in the dark with blackout curtains. And he's like, well, I want to come too. And she's like, no, you don't get it. Like, I just want to be by myself, but naked in the bed with the blackout curtains. Girl, I relate. Nisha, I get you on that. She asks him why he is taking her out after all this time. He says no time like the present. He always kind of gives her these real ambiguous answers. She says that she wants to be... Basically, she says, like, if we're going to continue with what we're doing, like, I want to be exclusive. Like, what's the point not to? And he says he doesn't want to put a title on it. And she's like, why are we here then? Like, I don't understand what we're doing. And he says that she likes going on dates. And so since they have a situationship, then he was going to take her on a date because he knows that she likes going on dates. She's like, I like going on dates because they're going to lead to something. But if we're not going to lead to anything, then why are we doing it? I 100% agreed to her on that. But I mean, she's a grown adult. She stays in this situationship for 20 years. So, I mean, does he have other situationships? Does she have other situationships? I mean, do we know that? Or is it just, I mean, the way the show makes it sound is like, it's just Nisha and Joel and their situationship. Sometimes she kind of alludes to like other guys, but this scene made it feel like, it made me sad for her. I like Joel a lot, but it made it feel like it's a friendship that when he wants it to be more, it's convenient for him. And she just thought at some point it would just cross over into something serious. And this is the moment, and he's not wanting to do that. He says he likes what he has. Why would they want to change it? Because she wants more, Joel. And if you cared about her, then you would maybe think about that. He says she likes to go on dates, so he wanted to take her on a date. He says this is the best that he can do right now. And she says she's trying not to cry. And she feels like she was lied to and it was all just fake. He's like, this is all I can do right now. Okay, Nisha, I'm telling you this right now, all right? If this is all he can do after 20 years, it's a little too late, okay? Him taking you on one date after 20 years and not being, even to say to you, we could try to be exclusive or we could try to be committed to each other, but not to even say that, to say, this is the best I can do right now. You need to keep him as a friend, you need to stop fucking him, and you need to move on, okay? Your value and your worth is much greater than this. And I like Joel. I think Joel is a very nice guy. I don't think that Joel's limitation to commitment has anything to do with Nisha. I think it has everything to do with Joel. And I'm not dogging him for that. But he's never going to be the one, he's never going to be the guy that Nisha wants him to be. And so she needs to find somebody else. I think he's a very nice guy, but he can't give her what she wants, you know? It's not that he's a bad guy, it's that he can't give her what he wants or what she wants. So then they're at home and Jazz and Nisha are talking about Joel. Jazz says she's not trying to let Nisha do this again for another 20 years. They're packing for the cabin. Nisha says that she wears bathing. Oh, this was so funny. She goes, I don't really need to pack a lot because I just wear bathing suit bottoms all the time. She's got like a dress on. And Jazz is like, no, you don't. She like pulls up her dress and she's got bathing suit bottoms on. It is so cute and so hilarious. Nisha's talking about how she's going to make all these different kinds of cookies, these sprinkle cookies and stuff. And Jazz is like, I'm not really hungry for that kind of stuff. And Nisha says that she needs to eat more. This is where it's confusing to me. Nisha says she needs to eat more. But it's like, it's either like that disgusting shot drink that she made, or it's like cookies. There's no like, okay, let's do like a chicken breast and maybe some greens and like, you know, broccoli or a salad or whatever. It's like, And she says that she's trying to help her so much. I don't know. This is where I'm getting like very enabling vibes from Nisha. It's like or maybe she doesn't know how to be supportive of Jazz in this moment, like what she needs from her, because Nisha doesn't eat healthy like that. I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, she doesn't need to eat more. She needs to eat healthy, you know, is what she needs to eat. Jazz talks about how she has her pain meds now, so her knee is getting better and that she should be good for the trip. So they're going camping with their girlfriends. It is Tiffany and Artisha, and then Bree is going to come later. And it's Nisha and Jazz's birthday weekend. She also wants to get her mind off of Joel, and Jazz's knee is hurting she's talking about her knee hurting the whole time. It's really, really bad. And even though she's got these pain medications, her knee is still hurting. I mean, I think it's no surprise that the arthritis is probably combined effects from her weight over the years. So it's not like the pain's going to go away like overnight. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know what that would look like as far as like once you lose the weight, then you would have to probably look at the knee after that. Pain medications are not going to that's just going to band-aid the situation, I would assume. They're in the mountains and they're driving. It is, wait a second. Okay, so they're talking in the car, and they're talking about camping and how Nisha hates camping, and they're talking about how Nisha always wore dresses, and she starts talking about how in the cult, she was like 5 years old, and one day the pastor just came home and said, okay, girls no longer can wear pants, they always have to wear dresses. Then they're driving, they're in the mountains. It is beautiful. I did not realize Big Bear, my brother and sister-in-law go skiing there. I did not realize how gorgeous it was. I mean, it was gorgeous. Jazz is starting to get sick from the altitude and the motion in the car, and then her knee is hurting. Everything's just going on for poor Jazz. She just can't, she is not feeling it. And then Nisha says, I think maybe Jazz says, this is not a fat person road. This is not a fat person road at all. They get to the cabin, and Jazz starts shooting pain in her leg. She doesn't want to get out of the car. Her body is weak, and she's in horrible pain. Nisha, this was so funny when Nisha goes to this cabin. She's like, this is not the cabin that she ordered online. She's like, it is so dated. It was very dated, the inside of it, and very small. And she goes, this is not fat girl friendly at all. I mean, Nisha has so many one-liners. She needs to do stand-up. She's hilarious. She said they had the nerve to put a bunk bed in there with a twin bed also. She's like, what are we supposed to do with that? She goes, where? This place is supposed to sleep six. She goes, where? She's like, the rooms are on top of each other. She is so over it. She says, this is not for fat people, is what she says. Jazz is having a hard time getting out of the van because she's in so much pain. Nisha doesn't want to have a shot of alcohol because she's pissed. She says this is every day living with Jazz. She takes care of Jazz. Jazz constantly this complaint. You can see it's like building up, this tension between Jazz and Nisha. She says she's constantly taking care of Jazz. I mean, she does do a lot. Nisha does a lot around the apartment. She takes care of everything at the apartment. She says Jazz is just getting worse and that she's always in pain. Nisha says she doesn't want her friend to be in pain. And she doesn't want to be insensitive, but she's really over it at this point. She doesn't really know what to do, and she doesn't feel like she can ever make her happy. And it's really not about that. It's so sad. This is where I was like, y'all need a mediator or a therapist. Because it's not about Nisha doing enough for Jazz. It's that Jazz is in so much pain, and she's also got a lot of fear, it seems like to me, from like trying to lose this weight and get the weight loss surgery, that it's like they're having two different conversations, if that makes sense. So Nisha's never going to get the validation from Jazz that she needs because they're having two different conversations. She says that they're always waiting for Jazz to show up and get things started because she's always like hurting and she's in pain. Jazz finally comes in, and then she's got the scale out because she brought the scale because she wants to keep herself on track, and if she sees the scale, then she won't like eat crazy on the trip. And Nisha says this is not the trip for a scale. And then Bree shows up. This is where like Nisha says she's supportive, but it's like scenes like this where if your friend is got a month to live, if she doesn't lose weight, and she's bringing a scale to remind her, that you might say, well, where do you want the scale, Jazz? Instead of saying, girl, this is not the trip for the scale, okay? I mean, they all take pride in being bigger, but at the same time, your friend, the show started with her saying she has a month to live, okay? Or 3 months to live. If that were my friend, she could bring any scale she needed on that trip. Okay, I mean, that's where it's interesting to me. And I understand that she's real over it. But she says she's so supportive, but there are other times where I'm like, but are you though? Like, I don't know. Like, it's a weird kind of support. And you can see that Jazz is like, to me, it's a fine line between support and enabling. So then they can tell that Nisha's real upset. So Nisha and Tiffany go get firewood, and Jazz gets upset talking to Bree and Artesia. She says that then they start hearing something. It was production. They hear something in the woods, and they come running inside and all this kind of stuff. Then Nisha's telling them about Joel and her going out on a date. They say that Bree says that he's jealous of her with someone else. I like this Bree. They need to make her a regular on the show. I like her a lot. And Bree says that he's just jealous of seeing... I like all the friends, honestly. But he's just jealous of seeing her out with somebody else, and he's like territorial, which I agree with that to some degree. Nisha says that it's like mourning a friend. She's like, it's going to take some time to get over him. Then Nisha cooks and serves up these enchiladas. Jazz is miserable. Her leg hurts. She doesn't really want to eat. They're getting ready to go make some s'mores outside. Nisha's pissed because she hates camping, and they're all there, and she's just doing it for Jazz. So this is where they're having two different conversations, because Nisha did this trip because Jazz likes to camp, and Jazz grew up camping. So she thought that her doing this camping trip would make Jazz happy, okay? Instead of saying to Jazz, what would make you happy for your birthday? She came up with this idea, which I think is beautiful. I think it's really, really nice that she did this. But now Jazz is on this trip, and she's in pain. She's got altitude sickness. She's freaking out about gaining any kind of weight because she won't get this surgery. And so, no, she's not enjoying the trip at all. And Nisha's pissed because she did all this for Jazz, and she doesn't like to camp. And so Jazz is not enjoying the trip, and Nisha's not enjoying the trip because Jazz isn't enjoying the trip. And it's very codependent, all of it. So they go to make some s'mores. Then the next day, they get up. Nisha makes breakfast for everybody. She takes like a plate in to Jazz, and Jazz is not really going to eat any of it. Nisha's pouting. She's got an attitude. They're all saying that she's got an attitude. They're all saying that she bottles everything up. Jazz says that she feels like Nisha gets frustrated with her. She does get frustrated with you. But they also don't communicate to each other unless it's in the confessional what's going on with each other. Jazz says that she does not care if she's doing her best or not, or if Nisha's pissed off at her, that she's doing her best, and she is just trying to put a smile on her face the best she can. Nisha and her friends go for a walk. She says she's glad the friends are there to experience what she goes through at home with Jazz. Jazz is inside thanking her friend Tiffany for giving her words of encouragement, and says sometimes that she feels like Nisha is not understanding of what she's going through. But they don't ever have conversations. This is where I feel like TLC could put somebody in the mix, like a mediator, and say, like, okay, we want them to have, like, a therapeutic session. They don't do that with 1,000-Pound Sisters. They don't do it with any of the shows. Nisha says that she is trying to do whatever she can to make her friend happy, and that's that she just wants Jazz to be happy. And that her friends just encourage her to take care of herself. Her friends are like, Nisha, you need to take care of herself. And she says she's just really, really tired, and that she's tapped out emotionally. So that's kind of where it ends with them, like, at, you know, this crossroads. I think they just need to talk to each other. I don't know what happened in episode 5, but I'm going to watch it tonight, take my notes, and I'll be back here tomorrow. And then we'll be all caught up, baby. We'll be all caught up on the best show ever on TV, not Love Island. 1,000-Pound Roomies. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.